Chip Zdarsky finishes up his multiversal Batman story with a big old celebration of Batman as a character for what is essentially the 900th issue of the Batman ongoing. The celebrations don't get in the way of Zdarsky finishing his own story with Batman and doing some utterly fantastic and refreshing work with the Batman-Joker dynamic, adding a cool new factor to how the Joker across the multiverse was created. I actually really love the idea of a sane variant of the Joker being the catalyst that turns every other one insane, since it's both something new and something established, as Batman's role in Joker's creation and the two existing because of each other is still intact and a big part of this story. Also, my theory about Failsafe sending Batman to a world without a Batman or Joker to make him remember what it is to be a Batman was 100% true, as the whole back half of the issue is Bruce kind of traveling the multiverse, much like how he traveled the world to become Batman in the first place, getting all of different pieces from all the other Batmen in order to make the perfect version of himself who can still best the Joker. It's just a thoroughly interesting and new take on remaking a better Batman, and I can't wait to see what Zdarsky does with the character upon returning to Earth Zero, especially with the tease at the end that while Red Mask was spreading the Joker influence and infecting all of these universes and making new Jokers, Batman was also spreading the Zur-En-Arrh aspect of the Batman, which is a fittingly insane cliffhanger to leave the book on. Mike Hawthorne, Jorge Jimenez, and Michael Janin celebrate Batman's 900th issue in grand fashion, giving an identity to each universe Batman travels to, capturing the neo-noir style of the Timverse, the dark foreboding feeling of the Arkhamverse, and the gritty grime of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Each page was a visual treat, and I thoroughly enjoyed the three artists captured each universe's unique style and didn't change a thing about what was in each of these universes. You knew exactly what the 1960s universe was, what the Frank Miller universe was, what the 1989 Batman Michael Keaton universe was like. They captured it just wonderfully. Batman issue 135 was an utterly brilliant finale to Zdarsky's multiverse-spanning storyline, celebrating every aspect of Batman and the Joker, while exploring their relationship from a totally refreshing new perspective. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Batman issue 135 finds Batman pushed through the pain of having his hand cut off, patching up his wound and heading into the Arkham tunnels to stop Red Mask. Bruce knows he needs some electroshock therapy, as out in Gotham, Jewel, Selina and the men battle their way through the Leatherwings, spreading the gas. Selina saves Jewel from the jaws of one of the Man-Bats, thinking they need an exterminator for these pests. Bruce meanwhile cauterizes his wounded arm, using the asylum's electroshock systems to burn the wound closed. He attaches some of his arm gauntlets to the end of the arm, willing himself to push through the pain since he's felt every pain known to man, and soon Red Mask will as well. Red Mask meanwhile learns from Crimson that the Leatherwings are doing their job and the jumper is almost filled with multiversal energy. Red Mask proclaims that they will soon be a changed man, worthy of Crimson's love. Alfred and the others of Athena Tower talk about the chaos outside the building as Alfred tries to contact Leslie, only getting her answering machine. Alfred decides it's time he left, but the guards refuse to let him leave the tower, telling him that he has all he needs there. Alfred tells them that his wife and son are out there, grabbing the guard's taser and hitting the man with it, screaming that this isn't right. After taking the guards out, he retrieves one of their guns, telling the other people that he is trying to do the right thing, since people are dying outside and they can save them. He tells the rich people that they sit in the tower sealed off from the world as if that's somehow better, but money is a shared fiction, while the people below them are real and he's going to save them with or without them. Darwin meanwhile gets ready to make his jump into the multiverse and into the mind of the Joker, but not just one Joker, many across the multiverse. Batman meanwhile fights his way through to the villain as Mask proclaims that he can finally experience what it's like to be a force of nature. Red Mask is blasted into the body of Red Hood, who is currently being confronted by Batman. Mask becomes scared of what is happening as he removes Red Hood's helmet, looking into the eyes of the man who would become Joker. Mask is pulled out of the multiverse, telling Crimson that it works, but he finds himself unchanged, wanting to go back into the multiverse and try again. As Batman confronts Killer Croc, Selina calls in Firefly as backup, backup, having the villain burn the Leatherwings out of the sky. Selina knows that Firefly is only helping since she was able to pay his fee, and luckily, her superpower is money. Up in the tower, Alfred and the residents confront the guards, telling them that they are going down to the ground level and helping those people inside. One guard tries to catch Alfred from behind, telling him that he is trying to save them, but Alfred shoots the man in the shoulder. Alfred demands that security open the doors to the people outside, heading outside to help Selina and Jewel usher the people in. Red Mask, meanwhile, gets ready to go back into the machine, girding himself against the pain he knows he will feel as he reconnects with Red Hood. Red Mask enters Hood's mind and becomes the joke that turns the villain into the Joker. Mask pulls himself out of the machine, unable to handle the revelation that he is the one responsible for creating the Joker in the first place. Red Mask tells Crimson about what happens as Batman arrives, attacking Crimson, easily able to beat her down and knock her out. Red Mask tells Bruce that he was wrong and he never becomes the Joker, he makes them. Batman thinks that the villain is already Joker and he's crossed worlds to stop him, just like how he stopped his Joker. Halliday's powers kick in and he evades Batman's strikes with his super speed, hitting the Dark Knight as he tells him that his job is to make Jokers with Batman, since if the hero doesn't exist, Joker doesn't either. Batman tells the villain that he stopped thinking that way years ago, ramming his horned helmet into Halliday's chest, injuring the man as he tells him that life isn't complicated and good people stand against evil, and so does he. He says he's already been shown that a world without Batman is still a world with monsters, and while Red Mask doesn't look like Joker, he is still evil and a killer, and in any universe, he stops Jokers. Alfred and the others arrive, giving Halliday a chance to speed off through the multiversal portal. Jewel and Alfred ask where the villain escaped to, and Batman fills them in on the multiversal portal. Selina is happy that he's gone, wanting to throw Crimson in after him and close the door, but Batman tells the woman that Darwin is in danger and he needs to find a way to retrieve the villain. Crimson gives up the code to a nearby keypad as Jewel fills Bruce in on what is happening below. Batman tells the panicking woman to breathe slow and steady, telling her that she fought monsters to save Gotham and it's not weakness to let herself feel that. In the secret room behind the keypad, Batman finds Red Mask's other multiversal experiments, grabbing a scanner that he can use to track Darwin through the multiverse. Alfred doesn't want him going, but Bruce knows that he will stop by his world to better equip himself and get himself to 100%. He looks at his missing hand, knowing that shock hasn't set in yet, as Alfred thinks that he is very much like his Bruce and he would never stop giving either, but this has to stop, otherwise the universe will do it for him. Bruce ignores him, telling Jewel to coil a special rope he found in the lab around his belt, explaining it's a multiversal conductor that will act as a harness and pull him home. Alfred continues to try and get Bruce to stop, but Bruce tells him to come with him into the multiverse since he can't do this alone and he'll be trapped in the darkness, but together they can fight the unending parade of monsters. Alfred realizes that in Bruce's world, he is dead, and while he would love nothing more to come with him, this Bruce isn't his Bruce, and he spent too long burying his head in the sand just to leave the city that needs him right now. Jewel thinks that if Alfred is willing to call her master, he can help her, and Bruce and Alfred share a hug, as Bruce thanks him for everything he has done. Alfred heads off to find Leslie as Selina asks why Bruce isn't going to be inviting her back to his world, learning all about the conflicted Selina of Earth Zero. Selina asks if Bruce's costume fighting ever ends, and Bruce tells her that if crime and injustice ends, then so does he, and the purpose he has right now is good, something he wouldn't get by having a wife and family, since the emptiness would just eat him up. Selina thinks that he is meant to be saying this to his Selina, wondering if the other Selina is as happy as she is, since she built an empire and she likes feeling safe. Selina suddenly kicks Bruce into the portal, sending him into the multiverse. Bruce arrives back in Gotham, realizing it's not his as he spots a billboard displaying the news of the Joker's return. Suddenly he's confronted by the 1989 Batman, but before Bruce can get any answers from him, he is yanked back into the multiverse, this time arriving in a rain-swept alley where a vampiric Joker attacks him. The vampire Joker lunges at Bruce and almost bites him, but again, the multiverse takes Batman. Batman is shot out into the multiverse, fighting many Red Mask infected Jokers alongside different Batmen. Discovering Darwin is making the Jokers even more evil and wild. Eventually, he arrives in the Arkhamverse, where the Batman explains that his Joker died in his arms and a weight was lifted off his shoulders when it happened. Batman knows that all of the Batmen live with the itch in their head, one that tells them to let Joker die and disappear into the dirt, but even with him gone, he still had to get the Joker out of his head and exorcise him, and it cost him his secret identity, only for the Joker to come crawling back now. Batman implores Bruce that if he can stop the Joker once and for all, he must do it for all Batmen. Bruce falls once more into universes where the Joker was gone, but thanks to Red Mask, they have returned even more chaotic than ever. Bruce is soon spat out into the Timverse, where he meets the Batman of the future. He suspects this is just another Bruce Wayne, that is until he meets Old Man Bruce, who knows that they have a problem since a sane Joker is jumping across universes and time, creating insane Jokers in his wake. Batman learns that this Bruce has been tracking Red Mask's energy, finding that he has been in town for a day and Terry has been looking for signs of a new Joker. Terry McGinnis guesses there's no need for secret identities with another Batman, removing his mask as Batman figures the Joker is dead in this universe. He states that he can feel this old Bruce's thoughts, and Bruce knows that it's because he's tied to all Bruce Waynes across the multiverse, asking if the multiverse jumps are involuntary. Batman confirms they are, hoping that he'll catch up with Red Mask sooner or later. Old Bruce knows that they can't come with him thanks to the threat of a new Joker in their Gotham, but he gives Batman a Halt disc, which will return him to his natural universe when he needs it. He finds their connection is unusual though, thinking that it might be a side effect of Red Mask's energy, when suddenly the Batcave is blown open by the resurrected Joker, who is there to kill Bruce. Batman can see that Red Mask's influence is all over him as he is suddenly teleported away again, jumping back through the universes, always one step behind Red Mask as the villain continues to make more Jokers, causing worlds to spiral back into chaos. Batman finds himself spat out in a world stuck in the 1960s, where the Joker has been apprehended by Batman and Robin. Batman spots the multiversal counterpart, unfamiliar with what the multiverse actually is, but he knows a Batman when he sees one and knows a Batman needs a utility belt to fight against the darkness. The Batman gives his belt to Bruce, reminding him that no matter what, Batman always helps out. Bruce is taken to Earth 31, dumped into a battlefield where a much older, larger Batman attacks him. Bruce thinks that he's good but slow in his old age, able to best the Batman and tell him that he's not looking for a fight. The older Batman knows that this is definitely the genuine article as he's helped up by his younger counterpart, telling his soldiers to clean up the mutants while he debriefs with the Batman. Batman explains to the older Bruce about what Red Mask is doing as he is outfitted with a new cybernetic hand. Old Bruce grabs him a new uniform as Bruce asks about this universe's Joker, wondering if this universe's Bruce killed him. The old man says that he almost did, but he never went through with it. Then Joker killed himself, laughing the entire time he did it. Bruce takes the new Batsuit and puts it on, finding that while he thought the world would change with the Joker's death, he finds it changes nothing. Batman is then shot across the multiverse to a strange Gotham where a Jokerized shark has destroyed everything. Red Mask laments to the shark that creating Jokers isn't enough and he needs to access the moment he had with Red Hood again to shatter who he is. Batman confronts him, telling the villain that he has reached the end of the multiverse. Batman can tell that this place is a creation of Red Mask's own imagination, a Gotham that is being devoured by the Joker, quite literally. The Joker shark begins to eat the city as Batman tells Mask that he can help him. Darwin thinks that he can't be Joker, but he has just enough energy to do what the Joker could never do, kill Batman. The Joker sharks come for Batman and he stabs one in the eye, tying it up with a grapple hook and slamming it into a building. Batman slides down the broken building, using his new robot hand to grip onto the concrete as the other shark comes to him from beneath, opening its maw to swallow the Dark Knight. Batman grabs the shark repellent from his new belt, spraying the animal in the face and driving it away. He's amused to find that he's finally met a Batman who is more prepared than he is, as Red Mask continues to try one more time to access the multiverse, but finds he has run out of energy. Batman tells him that he could have been anything, a scientist who cured diseases, a philanthropist, or a helper, and he always wondered what Darwin would become if his existence hadn't created the evil inside of him. But the hero now sees it was always there, and without the madness of the Joker, Darwin Halliday is just a more pathetic evil. Halliday charges Batman, but with one hit, Bruce knocks him out. Bruce knows that it's finally over, but he can't go home since the Hulk disc can only bring one of them back to their original universes, and he can't leave Halliday there, and he can't return to his universe either. Bruce tries to think of some way to make this right, since there is always a way. He remembers though that even before failsafe, he could feel himself slipping and the years are finally catching up to him. He doesn't know what to do as a bright light appears behind him thanks to a tear in reality as Robin appears, coming through the portal and reuniting with Bruce, who thanks Tim for coming to save him. As Batman heads home, Zur-En-Arrh, who has spread throughout the multiverses that Batman traveled to, thinks it's time to fight some crime.